Forex traders should be keeping track of the news, and most don't, but they should. Today we're going to go over how the news impacted 5 currency pairs last week upon the onset of the Russia-Ukrainian war. Understanding Forex fundamentals can create massive profits for traders. If you're anything like me, you probably have skipped to the part of where do I make the money? But understanding exactly how the news affects a currency pair can put you in a position to collect a lot of pips. Understanding fundamentals, i.e. the news, can allow you to have profitable foresight into the currency markets. This past Wednesday on the 24th of February, if you were up on both the news and your technicals of these 5 pairs, there was about 965 pips up for grabs.
Say what?
Yes, I said 965 pips in one day. Euro USD, GBP JPY, GBP USD, NZD USD, and USD CHF. There were more pairs that did have significant movement, but these pairs outperformed their normal price action by 100% or more that day. The days of avoiding red folders are over. If you have a good and solid understanding of both the fundamentals and the technicals, there is a lot of money to be made for you. February 24th was an impactful day for the world. And while many of us had hoped that there could be a peaceful resolve, that was a day most of us learned that Russia had officially invaded Ukraine. This attack sent the markets into a flux, and over the next couple days, we saw the immediate consequence of that war in the financial markets. The Dow Jones dropped by 830 points that morning, and the Nasdaq declined by 1.5%. The S&P 500 also dropped by 2.5%. That morning, the price of crude oil jumped to over $105 a barrel. We haven't seen that since 2014, and European gas prices soared 30%. After the invasion in Europe, German 30 dropped by 4%, and the Asian markets declined as well. Now, there will be longer term impacts that this war does have on the currencies, and if you understand what's happening, you can position yourself so that you can take advantage of that movement and that price action. I know you're probably wondering, how does this affect the Forex market, and why should I care? Well, there will be longer term implications in the financial markets as this war continues, and you want to position yourself in order to be able to take advantage of that. Now, I'm not embarrassed to tell y'all that I didn't understand this probably until about 2.5 years after I started trading. I, like most people, skipped ahead and wanted to get to the part, when do I make the money? That's the part I want to learn. But in order to position yourself to make the money, you really have to have a good grasp on this. So going back to the basics, when we're trading Forex, we are trading one currency for another in a single transaction. You have the base currency and then the quote currency. For example, in Euro USD, the base is the euro. The quote is a USD. So what you're saying is, how many US dollars does it take to get 1 unit of a euro? When you look at how the news, good or bad, influences that base and that quote, that gives you more insight into the direction that price can move. Let's break it down even further. When you have a strong base and a weak quote, you should be looking for buy opportunities. So let's apply this to the Euro USD. If the US dollar is losing strength and getting weak, and the euro is getting strong, you're looking for buy setups. Now, if the inverse happens and the euro becomes weak and the US dollar becomes strong, then you look for sales, which is what happened on Wednesday. We saw the US dollar gain massive strength, and that pair moved about 249 pips that day. And normally it only moves about 84. So there was an opportunity to capitalize and put yourself in the position that, okay, this makes sense. Now we saw something similar with GBP USD. USD on Wednesday gained an immense amount of strength because investors were taking their money out of other countries and putting it into those safe haven currencies. And as we've discussed on previous videos, the safe haven currencies can be identified as the Japanese yen, it can be identified as the Swiss franc, and the US dollar. This is why we saw the US dollar gain so much strength and create those sale opportunities on Euro USD and GBP USD. GBP USD typically only moves about 91 pips in a day. And on Wednesday, That bad boy moved 275 pips in one day. Now, the opposite, let's go to USD CHF. And so now you have USD that has gained strength, and then you have CHF. What we saw on USD CHF was the US dollar gain a ton of strength, the base becoming strong, and the quote being weaker, not weak, but weaker than the base. We saw buy opportunities on USD CHF. Now, USD CHF is a slow pair. It only moves about 54 pips in a day. But on Wednesday, we saw that move 115 pips. NZD USD, that one is a clear example again. The USD gained massive strength. It got stronger than the New Zealand dollar. And what did we say? We said that if the quote is stronger than the base, then we're looking for sale opportunities. CD USD is another slow moving pair, only moving about 65 pips a day. But that day, NZD moved 145 pips. And then finally, there's GBP JPY. Now, I did a video on this, and I want to see how many of y'all are actually paying attention and watching. Tell me in the comments below what happened with GBP JPY in order to create the price action that happened on the 24th of February. I'll wait. Okay, I'm gonna look and read those comments, and I'm gonna let you guys know if you're right or wrong. Now, as you guys can see, the news plays such an impactful role in trading. Every time I see this happen, I am truly amazed. You know, when news is in play, structure, like technicals, if the news is strong enough, price gonna react to that news rather than the technicals. Hopefully you guys understand the value of understanding the news and how it impacts a country's economy and ultimately its currency, because that affects your trading. I appreciate you guys for watching. If this video was helpful to you, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. And then also consider subscribing to the channel if you're looking for more information like this. And if it was helpful, share it with somebody if you know they can benefit from it, okay? So I got another video that's gonna be coming up right here. It's the one I did for the GBP JPY technical analysis. I did a little bit of fundamental analysis too. Go ahead, take a look at it, and I will see you on the next video.